So recently I claimed that the advent of the security token and the security token offering would be the trend that dominated and defined 2019. And I think today we received even more confirmation of that. Open Finance Network, which, as I've covered, is an exchange to trade digital securities, opened its doors today, moving from beta to full trading functionality, becoming the first to launch a live, regulated security token trading platform in the United States. Currently, they're only trading Blockchain Capital and Spice VC, two venture capital funds focused on digital assets. But what's great is the Open Finance platform is available to accredited and non-accredited investors both in the US and abroad. In order to get on the platform, you do need to go through some KYC checks, and they're going to ask you some questions that might seem unfamiliar if you're used to something like Binance or Coinbase. You'll also need to set up MetaMask, which is a browser extension, which is basically a hardware wallet that lives in your browser. Once you have MetaMask set up and your account at Open Finance is approved, mine is still waiting to be approved, so it might take some time, then you'll be able to partake in the first steps into the security token trading space and what things are going to look like from now on. Granted, there's not much to see right now, but I remember the same sort of experience when I signed up for Binance on the very first day, the very first hour that it went live. Had I known what that platform was to become, I might have bought more BNB tokens at the time, but what is evident to me is that the security token space and the STO as a vehicle of capital formation, well, that's really special. As the great cryptocurrency winter of 2018 extends its grip by yet another month, we might be witnessing the first movements of a transition from the ICO winter to an STO spring. What makes this new breed of digital assets special is that they seek to comply with existing regulations rather than to subvert them. Security tokens are programmatically designed to be compliant with relevant regulations and jurisdictions. If cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are considered programmable money, then you can consider security tokens a version of programmable ownership, with recent examples of assets being tokenized ranging from the St. Regis Aspen Resort to a New York real estate fund to a Picasso painting. Momentum is clearly favoring this nascent development. So in short, there's a whole host of benefits driving the security token proposition for mainstream adoption. To that end, let's reframe the STO so things make a little bit more sense. Specifically, I want to look at the security token value chain, aka the STO value stack. Let's look high level at the value stack that STOs are bringing, and let's talk about what makes tokenization so compelling over the existing models of securitization. Welcome to ReadySetCrypto. This is your brain on blockchain. So, like I said, I want to reframe the STO so it makes a lot more sense to people. When we talk about a security token offering, I think a lot gets lost in translation. People get caught up trying to compare them to ICOs or IPOs and aren't really looking at it for what it represents by itself. So I think the easiest way to represent the value stack of what an STO is bringing is to think of it like a hamburger. And yes, I'm unapologetically American. So let's run through the layers. At the bottom, you have deal flow origination, which deals with how the supply and demand of capital gets match-made. Here we discuss the difference between accredited investors and retail participants, and the type of asset being tokenized, be that real estate, commodity, bond, equity ownership, revenue sharing, etc. Once we've conceptualized what is being tokenized, then we need to talk about the issuance platform and core services accompanying the security token and its respective STO. We need to determine under what jurisdictions and how enforceable the token holder's rights are to the underlying asset. We also need to determine how custodianship services are applied to the tokens in issue, and the custody of the underlying assets. This is why STO platforms like PrefLogic, Securitize, and Securrency are a whole new breed of platforms, as they have to deal with the myriad of questions and legalese surrounding the token. It's very important that these questions are addressed up front because things get very tricky very quickly when you're partitioning a real asset with digital ownership. Next, we need to address auxiliary services. These are the programmatically managed corporate actions such as dividends, voter rights, interest payments, revenue share distributions, ESOP, and token rate issues. Again, these are important when discussing the future of the tokenized asset, but are critical to ensuring the process works and is fair. At the very top of the STO burger, you have a secondary market for 24/7 trading. This will be the domain of exchanges like T0 and Open Finance, as I discussed. And they need to ensure that there are checks in place to partition market participants between accredited and non-accredited and their nationality. Detest this all you want, but this is how equity markets already work. So this is not some new concept. Now, I'm seeing a lot of misplaced anger and frustration being directed at STOs because there's some sort of naive opinion that they'll be the playground of the rich, the accredited investor. And so my response is just to look at the ICO market of the past year. Do you feel that by usurping the laws that are put in place to protect investors, that we accomplish something sustainable and worthwhile? Understand that a lot of people got burned, and I think we need to take ownership of that. Essentially, when you lower the barrier of entry so much that anybody can go around asking for money, unfortunately, you're going to attract a lot of bad ideas and scammers. So I know that we, as the crypto community, want to embrace this decentralized future, but I don't think we can go full-on anarchy until there are systems in place that prevent that kind of thing. Don't hate STOs for accredited investor laws. Petition entities like the SEC to possibly reframe them and make them more common sense to how we're approaching digital ownership and assets these days. We can see that security token exchanges are going to be much more complex than crypto-to-crypto exchanges like Binance. There's a lot more that goes into it, and patience is a virtue right now because you don't want exchanges and platforms rushing through areas that are critical to making sure that investors are protected. So very quickly, that was the STO value stack. All 4 layers must work in tandem in order to ensure that STOs can function and truly represent a disruption of the existing system. But think about the potential here for a moment. This is a democratization of one of the most principal elements of Wall Street and the financial sector. Yes, it will take some time to build the infrastructure, and yeah, we're probably used to hearing that in crypto land, but we really are seeing a whole new industry being created here. I'm truly excited for what the future might bring, and I do think we're just getting started exploring it. So thanks for watching this quick video. I hope it was helpful in some way, and I also want to give a shout out to Crypto Daily for having a fun little exchange between his channel and mine. I really appreciate him asking people to subscribe to my channel, and so I want to return the favor and ask that you check out his great daily content and sense of humor. I think he brings a lot of perspective and humor to this space, especially right now as we need it the most. And if he really did find my intro song without watching my videos, then I gotta say he's got a good taste in music too. So yeah, definitely check him out. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Cheers.